Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about what happens to you when you are raised by narcissistic parents. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. Now let's get going. The first thing that happens to you is that you are robbed of your childhood. Trust me, narcissistic parents are, a kind of a devil on your back. Yes, they are, because with all that constant manipulation, invalidation, physical, emotional, verbal abuse, I mean, that completely destroys you. We as kids are not supposed to be exposed to such situations and environment. We are supposed to be nurtured properly. We are supposed to be seen and heard. We are supposed you know to be validated. We are supposed to be understood. We are not someone who needs to be minimized, invalidated, and constantly manipulated, gaslighted. So, these things come, handy when you have a narcissistic parent. Either one or both the parents are narcissists. It hardly matters, because as we can see, almost narcissist parents are in every household. Narcissism is increasing in our society, and we are just robbed. We deserve to have a healthy, loving, nurturing childhood. But the childhood that we get, by taking birth, in a family that has narcissistic parents, oh, it's horrible. It's very painful. And trust me, it scars you for life. And I myself, an example, it took a long time for me to heal, because all that invalidation, minimization, and that gaslighting, you are never enough, you always do wrong, oh, you are a useless child, you hardly serve me, you hardly do what I say, you can never do things right. These things really impact you. These things really influence you and affect you. And we begin to doubt ourselves. We really begin to doubt ourselves, and we begin to feel as if we are responsible for how others feel. We are responsible for anything and everything around us, even though if we are not involved or at all related to. But still, we are made to feel that way. And I mean, it's a very horrible experience. It really minimizes, or it just eradicates the creativity inside of you. It really makes you an unhealthy child with all of these manipulation, invalidation, gaslighting. uh, you don't feel good. You live in constant state of fear, as if some invisible force is around. I mean, the narcissistic parents, the devil on your back, and they're gonna just punish you, and they're gonna accuse you and abuse you if you do any such mistakes. And mistakes are the building blocks. Mistakes are a wonderful teacher, and it teaches us a lot of things. But when it comes to these narcissistic parents, they can do mistakes, it's fine, but you are not allowed to do mistakes, because they want to live their perfection. They want to live that imperfect self that they are from inside. They want to make themselves feel perfect by putting that pressure of being perfect on you also. Because if you are flawed, if you have errors, and if you are imperfect, that's like a big scar. That's like a I mean, that's like a bad thing for them. That's something which is nasty to look at, and that hurts their image, that perfect image, all that good good image that they have built up over time. So yes, there is a lot of pressure, there is a lot of gaslighting, manipulation. Trust me, life is hell. Anyone who has survived such narcissistic abuse, or anyone who has been raised in a family where there were narcissistic parents, ask them. They still suffer. The path to recovery is very complex and difficult. Often people say that, okay, it's okay, she might have done it, but it's okay, you move on, it's absolutely fine, there's no point ruminating and crying about it. No, it's not easy at all to overcome all that series of abuse and torture and trauma that you endure growing up in a narcissistic home. So yes, first thing is that you are robbed of your childhood, which shouldn't happen, but that's how it is if you have a narcissistic parent. The second thing, what happens to you is that you get into this mode of acceptance, that okay, fine, this is how it is, and that's how things are, and you keep planning that once I'll grow up, once I'll become independent, I'm going to I'll be my by myself, and I'll be away, and you keep on dreaming, you keep on dreaming, and you accept it how it is, and then you keep on dreaming that one day I'll be away from all of this. But let me tell you, that one day is going to be delayed. That one day might not ever come until and unless you don't stop accepting these horrible behaviors. You can't accept unacceptable things, you can't accept unacceptable behavior, even if it is your parent. If they are abusive, it's abusive, and you should not accept it. But again, as we know, in our society, we have a lot of these flying monkeys, toxic enablers around us, who keeps on saying, oh, it's okay, that's your daddy, he feeds you, he gives you a shelter, he clothes you, he pays for your education, and blah 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 things you can hear. But what goes inside a child, nobody cares. Yeah, because it is not seen. It's here, it's here, nobody is bothered to see it, and it's not visible, it's just inside. That's how the child sulks and keeps breaking down inside. So this acceptance that okay, this is how it is, maybe one day I'll get married and I'll move on and I'll be away from it. Girl, you might be almost distorted and damaged by the time you'll get married. Trust me, by the time you move out or by the time you are independent, you are damaged beyond repair. Yes, that's how damaging it is to be with narcissistic parents. So this acceptance is like a temporary solution, it doesn't do anything. Bad needs to be left, bad needs to be contained. Bad shouldn't be accepted and encouraged and endured. That is absolutely being silly. So this this game of acceptance, that oh, I have accepted it, this is how it is, ah, it won't help. It won't help, it won't give you peace, and you will keep on experiencing what you're experiencing. Next thing that happens to you is that we start gaslighting our own selves. We had been minimized, invalidated, and gaslighted by our parent, and we start doing all of that with ourselves. We start doubting ourselves, we start holding ourselves responsible for how others feel. We start doubting all our moves, we doubt our capabilities, we are scared to venture out. We live in a chronic state of fear and doubt. Yeah, and we become insecure beings because we were never validated, we were never encouraged, we were never motivated, and we were never seen and heard by our parents. Everything was invalidated, and why was that? That was purely to control us, purely to make us their supply, purely to make us their punching bag. So this gaslighting, what they did, we start doing it with our own selves, and that's the worst thing that one can do. And because of that, with lots of negative self-talk, doubting, it becomes very damaging. Even if the narcissistic parent passes away, but that habit sets in because we are seeing and we are exposed to all of these things when we were vulnerable, when we were young, and kids are like sponge. So it's very difficult to unlearn, but you can't keep on doubting yourself, you can't keep on invalidating and minimizing yourself. It's extremely difficult to unlearn, but there is no way around. You have to unlearn it, you have to let go of it, you have to accept yourself, you have to love yourself, you have to care for yourself. You can't just neglect yourself. Yeah. And that is what happens. We are under that so much of pressure and abuse. We create this false persona, and we start living by that. And that is basically to seek validation and approval of parents and society. So we start living lie, we are not our authentic selves. And I hope you guys understand how damaging it is not to be yourself, or forced not to be yourself. It is very damaging. So yes, we begin to gaslight our own selves, and we need to stop it in order to move forward and heal. We often blame ourselves that oh, why did I take birth in this family. They had some problem, and I shouldn't have been born, and all of that, blah blah blah. My parents are narcissistic, and you know I didn't ask for all that, selfishness. See, there is no point ruminating about it. None of us are able to choose our caregivers or parents. Yeah, we can't decide in whose family we want to come, or whose womb would be a portal for us to come into this planet. We really don't get to decide. So we can't keep on blaming ourselves for being born in the wrong family, or for our parents being narcissists. That is how things are. We did not come here out of our own choice. They had sex and they wanted a child, and they had it, and that's how we did come. So there is no reason for us to blame our own selves. Yeah, narcissistic parents are narcissistic. They are not going to change. They are going to make your life hell, and that's a fact. Now you have to decide whether you want to endure and stay with it, trust your own self, and make a beautiful life out of your own self. So it's up to you. So there is no point in ruminating and playing victim and saying, oh, I didn't ask for a narcissistic parent, oh, I'm so helpless, I'm so broken. That doesn't work. You got to tie up your shoelaces and you got to get going. That's how it is, because otherwise it's going to be too late. Yeah, it's going to be too late. For how long you can surround yourself with toxicity? You will become toxic if you are constantly surrounded, or if you are exposed to toxicity. Do you think you are going to be sane and normal? No. And that's what happens in a lot of the cases where children of narcissistic parent in the end become narcissists themselves, and the cycle goes on, and they do the same thing because it feels familiar and it feels okay. Things get so much internalized that everything toxic, everything narcissistic becomes a part of them also, and they begin to believe that this is how it is because they have seen their parents, and parents are supposed to be the first teacher. So definitely there is quite a lot of impact, and that impact is really toxic for the others. So there is no point in saying that, oh, it's so sad, I was born to a narcissistic parent, my parent is a narcissist. Understand it, learn about it, and get over with it. Trust me, that's the only way forward. Either draw healthy boundaries or keep space or just cut off. That's how it is. Otherwise, there is nothing good that will happen in your life if you're staying with a narcissist, be it your partner, be it your parent, be it your lover, kid, anyone. Nothing good is going to happen. Once they are out of your life or away from your life, life is going to be amazing. The next thing that we often do when we are, raised by narcissists is that keep on justifying their bad behavior, their evil behavior. She's not a bad person, she did it maybe under the influence of that auntie, maybe under the influence of that neighbor, maybe some work pressure. No, my sweet child, you can't keep on defending abusive and toxic behavior, even if it is your parent. Yeah, and toxic is toxic. People can see. People are not fool. So you might be in the process of pleasing your narcissistic parent by constantly validating them and being the supply, and talking high about them. But trust me, others can see through how shallow these narcissists are. Others can see through how sick these narcissists are. So there is no point in forcing and convincing yourself and others about your parents' sacrifices and how under the influence of other they misbehaved, and don't justify their bad behavior. Healthy people, intelligent people can see through. They can see what is toxic and what is not toxic. So you might be fooling your own self, but don't make a fool out of yourself by complimenting or talking high or bragging about this abusive behavior, be it your parent, be it your partner, be it whoever. So stop forcing and stop convincing yourself that they did a lot, and stop justifying their bad behavior. This we often get into, but you need to stop it. You need to identify and call it out. This is bad. Hey mom, this is wrong. Do you think so? See her reaction. Yeah. And if she can recover and if she is ready to change, well and good for you. But if she goes on doing it and feels entitled, you know how it is. So stop doing that. But this is what we do. I mean, we kids of narcissists, we often get into this habit of explaining and justifying. No, my mother slapped me because she was very upset. My dad slapped me because I had broken a plate. I mean, breaking a plate, is that such a evil thing to do that you deserve a tight slap across your face? I mean, for just dropping the food, is that such a big sin that you deserve to be beaten the shit out of you? No. So stop defending them. Enough. Stop defending them. They are bad and you need to identify and accept it, and even tell them that, hey, you are just being nasty, you're being hell. The next thing that we often do when we grow up, uh, in a family with narcissistic parents, is that we have so much of this internalized shame. Their shame is also internalized into us. Their manipulation becomes a important part of our reality. We think that's normal. Any kind of triangulation, comparison, minimization, gaslighting, all of this, you know, uh, we accept it, and it becomes a part of our life too. And because of that, we are never at peace, because we have accepted it. We have never questioned it, or we have never said no to it. So, you know, we are never at peace because we have internalized and we have accepted the worst of the things. We have accepted the bad behavior as being normal. We consider and we started believing that abusive behavior is absolutely normal in any family, and that is how we are never at peace, we are never happy, we are never confident, and there is this emptiness inside of us, and we also often wonder, why are we feeling so empty? Why don't we feel all right? Why are we so lost? Yeah, because we get so much addicted to all that chaos, all that adrenaline rush, all that cortisol. We get addicted to these things from an early age, and we feel that something is not right, but we are unable to identify and quit it. We are unable to identify and fix it. We consider it as something which is usual and normal, as a part of everyone's life. So we keep doing it. So we keep internalizing shame. We keep manipulating others. We keep facing and enduring triangulation, and we do that as well. And we keep comparing the way how we were compared to the others. So we are just broken souls. Our souls are, as it is, destroyed with all this manipulation. So we don't grow up. We don't grow up to be healthy individuals. We grow up to be broken individuals, and no one is going to collect all the broken bits and fix you up or patch you up. You have to do it yourself. Yeah. The next thing is that you know we grow up in a toxic family, or with toxic parents. We are often surrounded by these toxic enablers and these flying monkeys deployed by our narcissistic parents. So they keep on saying and justifying and um, protecting the evil acts and deeds of your narcissistic parent. They keep on saying, oh no, it's okay, we were beaten even badly, oh no, it's absolutely fine, at least you're getting food, at least you're getting shelter. So life with toxic enablers and flying monkeys becomes absolutely normal. Our day starts hearing so we have a narcissistic parent, and there is an entire system that supports and encourages narcissism. Try and understand, these toxic enablers are just justifying and legitimizing. Why? Because they are the future narcissists and future predators. So if they are going to support you, they will expect the same support from you, from your narcissistic parent. So it's an entire ecosystem of this emotional abuse, and living in that, it becomes absolutely okay. You get used to. There is that emptiness. You don't feel normal, you don't feel okay, you feel very anxious, you feel very depressed, you feel sick most of the time, but you really don't know the cause. What could be the reason? There is a lot of health problems that one suffers if they are in a toxic environment, and if they are not mentally peaceful. But we consider, or rather we are trained to believe, until unless we don't have a heart attack or cancer, everything is okay, it's normal. Or until unless we don't fall sick seriously, it's fine. But these signs of these stress and these sign of these toxicity, it shows on your body also, like shoulder ache, migraine, body ache, loss of appetite, or overeating. There are a lot of signals that your body gives. It's not always a cardiac arrest, or renal failure, or brain damage, or ischemic attack. No, there are a lot of other subtle signs that it gives, but we keep on ignoring, because as it is Everything is invalidated when you have a narcissistic parent around you. I'm having a little stomachache. Oh, it's okay. Have some water and sleep. I'm having some shoulder ache. Go and play more. You're going to have more shoulder ache. Watch more TV. You're going to have more shoulder ache. Yeah. So they just invalidate. They just don't care. All what you are to them is just a supply for their needs, a supply, for their desire, a supply for compliments, a supply for approval, validation, big words. That's it. So that is what it is to be in a family, or be raised by a narcissist. The next thing that we often do when we are raised by a narcissist is that we often keep making excuses. We keep making excuses about our narcissistic parents, that she's like this because her mother did that. She's like that because her father never understood. So we tend to keep on whitewashing their evilness. We tend to keep on protecting their evil behavior. But you need to understand that you are just a punching bag. And by changing the gloves that a person wears and that a boxer wears, you are still going to endure that punch. Yeah, because you're just a punching bag. So no matter what gloves he wears, you are still going to be hit hard. And that is what it is, and that is how it is if you have a narcissistic parent. So stop excusing, stop making excuses for their evilness. Stop making excuses for their bad behavior. Trust me, it doesn't do anything. And people out there, they can see what is good, what is bad. Not everyone is unhealthy, or not everyone is mentally deranged, or not mentally fit. So it's absolutely fine. The next thing is that we often get stuck with this thought that if my mother would have been given a very good childhood, she would have been an amazing mother. See, evil are born evil. Yeah, evil are born evil, and some choose to be evil, some don't choose to heal themselves. So, there is no point in getting trapped into that vortex of thoughts that, oh, if this would have been, she would have been a better person, she would have been kind, my father would have been a better father, my father wouldn't have been a narcissist. So these things just don't help. You are who you choose to be. Yeah, in the end, that's how it is. I mean, no one can hammer you and make you something else. If you choose to it, if you give into bad, you become bad. No one can just take you and dip you and make you bad. If your consent is there, that's how it happens. The next thing that we all need to do, if we are raised by narcissists, is that we need to reparent ourselves. Trust me, we were not exposed to healthy parenting, and because of that we have a lot of ideas that are not legit, that are not feasible, that are not healthy, and we live by that, and that needs to be eradicated. That needs to be replaced with healthy ideas, healthy thoughts, healthy behavior. So yes, there is a lot of reparenting that we need to do if we are raised by narcissists. And that's only the only way, I would say, how we can heal and have a normal happy life, or experience happiness and be at peace. And the last, we often believe, the last point and the last point is that we keep believing that one day our parents are going to change. No, they don't change. Narcissist parents don't change. They become more toxic with age. Their hunger, their craving for attention, validation and approval increases. So they don't change. You have to do something about yourself. They won't change. That's how they are. I mean, if you can build a boundary, or if you can, maintain a safe space, it's okay. Otherwise, you have to bear with it. These narcissistic parents are like, the devil on your back till the time, they are not dead. There is this invisible pressure. And, even when they die, when they are no more, you might have this feeling of grief, you might have this feeling of freedom, relief, but you are unable to process. You might be, blaming, oh, I wish I would have done a little more, I wish I would have had served them a little more. But trust me, bad is bad. There is no point justifying, bad behavior and bad conduct, even if it is your parent. Yeah, they wanted to have you and they had you. You don't get to choose. So why should we be subjected to all that, abuses and, manipulation, gaslighting, exploitation? Why? We don't deserve that. And if you also think that you don't deserve it, so you need to walk out of such life and such family, and make a happy space for yourself. Start your life, individually, and live life the way how you want, not on any terms and conditions, not on the, condition of not being seen and heard if not, do certain things a certain way. So that's how things are. So this was all about, some of the things that we do when we are raised by narcissistic parents. And in case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. And till then, lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.